Good morning, everybody. It's July 2020 and it's a hot day. In fact, it's only around 7:50, almost 8 o'clock, and it feels like it's 30 degrees. It's supposed to go up to 40 today. And I'm in Bryan's backyard and we're about to do our gentle stretching exercises for seniors up on that deck. I just want to show you around his yard first. He's in the house getting ready. He has a slope to his yard, lots of beautiful flowers. He's even got mushrooms. Well, they're not edible mushrooms, but he's got them. Something new that popped up. A nice deck, lots of things going on today in the yard. There's the area down there where he likes to do his art. He's a painter. You can see the easel there. He's got a pond here with some koi fish in it. He's trying to keep the cranes and the herons out of it with that netting. But he's got a lot of stones, heavy stones, angel stones, big flat thick stones that are used for walkways and patios, and some gravel. And it looks like he's been busy trying to finish this area off. He'll probably use that dolly to move some of these stones. Remember, Bryan's almost 80, and I'm approaching 75. If this isn't flat and even, he's likely to trip, or somebody is. This looks like it's a little bumpy when you come through the gate there. That might have to be repaired. Anyway, the point of this little chat with you is that he's putting gravel in between these big rocks too. This is a lot of work, especially if you're 80. And it's heavy. It's a lot of bending and using all your muscles to do this. You better have a good heart too, especially when it's hot. And Bryan needs to do a lot of stretching, gentle stretching exercises, dynamic, which means movement stretches, and static, which means frozen stretches. In other words, you hold the stretch. He needs to do a lot of that before he even starts to do this work. We better get to it. We'll show you what those stretches are. So, hi again, we're on the deck, and of course, this is Bryan. How are you today, Bryan?
Great.
We're going to start with a warm-up. We're just going to march on the spot. And by the way, we have no music today because we've got a lot to squeeze in here, and we want to be able to talk to you so you can hear us, and we don't want the music to distract what the point is to this little workout. And remember, this is all about stretching today. And after we do a little bit of a gentle walk on the spot, we're going to do some step touches. So it's just stepping and touching. They call it a step touch. And yeah, we can, whatever happens to the upper part of our body is all good. But we're warming up. And we're going to warm up our whole body before we get into the stretches. And by the way, there's two different kinds of stretches, Bryan. Do you know what they're called?
No clue.
Well, one is the kind where you don't move. That's called a static stretch. So as we step touch here, we're gonna tap in front with a crossover. And we want to turn on both sides of our brain so that we're really thinking well as we work out. We want to do everything right. And when you cross over, you turn on the left and then the right side of your brain so you can think with both sides of your head. Anyway, so the static stretch is the kind, and when you're tapping in front like this, by the way, you can tap behind too. Let's try some of that. The static stretch is when you're holding a position with your body, stretching a certain body part, and you're not moving. The other kind is a dynamic stretch. That's when you're moving, but very gently, very slowly. And they're both stretches. In fact, I do a little bit of the static stuff before I get out of my bed in the morning. It's a gentle stretch. I haven't worked out. Now we're going to toe tap on the side and reach up. So my legs are apart, and I'm reaching up, crossing over too. So anyway, I'm getting out of bed in the morning. I think, well, before I do, I better stretch a little bit. So I hold different positions, and then I slowly get out of bed, stand up very slowly, and then walk around. So with some gentle walking, okay, we're going to just pull our elbows down to our knees, and our legs are pretty wide, and we'll lift our legs up, see if they lift. And anyway, I get out of bed and I walk around, and after I've walked around for a few minutes, I feel like I'm kind of ready and I'm awake. And some people stretch once they get in the bed at night, before they go to sleep, they stretch, because there are certain stretches that will help you get to sleep, believe it or not. So now I've worked that part. I'm going to push my arms back, squeeze my shoulder blades together, and kick my butt with my heels. And I can really feel that on the left side of my body right here, because I've got arthritis in that knee. And when you have arthritis, it can stiffen everything up, and it can even
be really painful.
It can be very painful. In fact, do you have any arthritis, Brian?
In my right hand, it's absolutely terrible this week.
I'm going to kick the straight legs to the side a little bit and cross. So in your right hand?
Yep.
So maybe we should do some stretches for that.
Okay, that'd be great.
So we'll do some of those.
It's gone down a bit today, but it was been really bad.
Do you have, there are two different kinds of arthritis. Do you know what they are?
I did know, I've forgotten.
Well, there's the osteo. Bring my legs up a little bit if I can and swing my arms so I don't fall over.
It's kind of neat here.
It is. Just warming up. And then I'll plant my feet a little wider than shoulders and do a little gentle squat. And I'm using my arms so I don't fall over. They're part of the balance. Yep, just a little gentle squat. And if you have arthritis, by the way, you should never do any high aerobics. That's jumping or running. Shouldn't do that.
So why?
It's too hard on the joints, and if you've got arthritis in your body, you'll know it. You'll get the flare-ups, the inflammation in the joints will become worse. Good. Shake that out. So we're going to do this in sections today. We're going to start off by standing up and doing the stretches, the dynamic and the static. Then we're going to sit down and do the stretches. And I'm going to leave the floor stretches out today. We'll do those another day. But anyway, after we sit down, then we're going to go for a little walk. Because walking, swimming, cycling, yoga are great for people with arthritis.
Really?
Because they're all low impact. Okay? So just follow along, Brian.
All right.
We're going to do some standing stretches here. So my feet are shoulder width apart. I'm just going to lean from side to side, pushing my feet into the floor. Using my hips a little bit. I can feel my hips starting to move in a certain way. Right. So side to side. And I'm going to put my arms up and go out a little bit further and slow it down. Remember, this is gentle stretching exercises for seniors. Gentle. That's the key word. And it's dynamic right now because we're moving. But once I've got myself warmed up in this position using these body parts, I'm going to hold it to the right and just hold it and hold it. This is the static part. Now, have you ever heard of Harvard University?
Yeah, of course.
In the United States? Of course, it's famous. And so they held a stretching conference there I think it was 2 years ago. And they got all the experts in stretching. And they said, we want to talk about what the best stretches are and how you do them. And how long do you hold them? What do you think, Bryan? How long do you hold a static stretch?
Well, I know from what you've been saying, 2 minutes.
2 minutes is the newest research by the experts. 2 minutes, that's a long time. Let's go the other way. But in that stretching conference at Harvard that they had a couple of years ago, they came away saying 60 seconds is what we're shooting for. If you're going to do like a hold a stretch for 10 seconds, in your workout you got to do it 6 times. You don't have to do it in a row, you just have to do it 6 times to get your 60 seconds in. If you can hold it for 20 seconds, you only have to do it 3 times. If you can hold it for 60 seconds, then you only have to do it once. Okay? Good. Let your body come into neutral and put your arms down. Okay, good.
Wow.
Let's just lift our arms up like this. And as we lift them up, do a little bit of a squat just to work the lower part of our body. But what we're going to work here is our back. So we're going to lift our arms a little higher each time. See if we can get them straight up. So we do very slowly, we do the dynamic movement. And then once we think we've done it enough, maybe 10 times or whatever, but very slowly, we're going to hold it there. And then we're going to lean back a little bit. So my legs are bent. They don't have to be. I could be standing up. But they're bent a little bit. And I'm leaning back with my arms straight up, creating a little bit of a stretch in my low back. And I'm looking straight ahead. You could put your head up, but then that would involve the neck. So we're not ready for that one yet. Now, how do you get do you have osteoarthritis or rheumatoid? Which kind do you have, Bryan?
I was told by my arthritic doctor, but I forgot.
Well, I'm going to tell you the difference. So, osteoarthritis is when your cartilage in between your bones at the joints, like your knees or your hips, or your hands, or your ankles, the cartilage is wearing out. For whatever reason, you're too fat, you ate the wrong foods, you didn't move enough, you were in an accident, whatever. You're getting old, the cartilage starts to, let's relax, here we go. I don't know if that was a minute or not. Do you think so?
It was more than 40, that's for sure.
Well, there you go. So hey, there's a chipmunk.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. We're just going to turn our body to the side and then back to center and to the other side. And just gently go back and forth. My arms are at my sides, and you know I can swing them. I can move them like this if I want, but it's not about the arms, it's about the sides of your body. So I'm going to rotate one way and then the other, and I'm going to let my head come along for the ride and use my eyes to see how far I can go. What is my range of motion? The word range of motion refers to how far you can take the movement in a certain direction. Like, what will your body let you do in the way of twisting this morning? Can you twist farther one way than the other? Right. So my arms are just there. They're kind of moving up and down a little bit. But I think I'm going to put them on my hips. My hands on my hips as I twist. And now when I get to the left, I'm going to hold it, Bryan. Hold it. And look behind if you can. So yeah, so when your cartilage, which is the cushioning material between your bones, so that the bones don't rub together, when it starts to wear out, for lots of reasons, you've got osteoarthritis. But if you get some kind of a disease because of your immune system being weak for whatever reason, there's a million reasons it could be weak. Maybe you inherited a tendency to have a weak immune system. Anyway, when you get a certain disease, the because of your immune system. Then you get the same thing happening to your joints. Not only does your cartilage wear out, but the synovial lining, it's called synovial. It's like a membrane that covers your muscle and your cartilage. Okay, let's go the other way very slowly. So that was about 20 seconds or maybe more. And let's hold it the other way. So when the synovial lining, the membrane that's covering your cartilage, gets diseased because of whatever you've done, then you get the same results. You get the pain and the stiffness, inflammation.
Swelling.
But you have to be treated by a doctor differently than you would for the osteo. And who gets the rheumatoid arthritis? Women. Women get it more than men. Except when men do get it, they get it in their toe. And it's called gout.
I've got one on my right foot at the moment.
So you have gout in your right toe?
Yes.
Then he has rheumatoid arthritis in his toe called gout. Good. Relax at the
But
front.
you have to live with it.
Right. Shake that out for a sec. Okay, we're going to bend over. So we can bend over with our hands on our hips, or we can put our hands up and bend over. So I'm going to try it. Got the lovely umbrella. I'm going to go with my arms out to the side. Where's my... I don't want to bend over on your plant here. So I'm going to go out this way. Come on, Brian. Put your arms up. And I hope you've got room here. We're going to bend over by pushing our hips back, keeping our legs straight, and reaching down to the floor. And then coming up the front. Slowly. This is gentle stretching. Gentle dynamic movement. Let's go again. Arms out to the side. Yeah, you could do this with your hands on your hips and just bend over and then straighten up. We'll do a couple of those in a second. So,
I'm only 18 inches away.
yeah, we're working our back again because there is a lot of bones in your back, especially down in your low back. They're bigger, and they do have cartilage in between them, and synovial membranes and synovial fluid, which is like egg white. That kind of lubricates the cartilage and the bones and all that stuff that's going. One more, but this time when we get down here, we're gonna stay down here, Brian. Just hang there, and your legs are straight. Yeah. So anyway, we're working the low back vertebrae, and when we stretch, all the muscle fibers are pulled in a horizontal direction. So they're pulled apart. They're called sarcomeres. S-A-R-C-O-M-E-R-E. Sarcomeres. Those are muscle fibers that are horizontal. They get pulled apart.
Oh, come over that, baby.
Okay, I'm coming up too slowly, and I hope I don't fall over because my blood pressure changes when I bend over. When my head goes below my heart, my blood pressure goes up and down. And if you come up too fast, if you think, oh, I can do this, I'll just come up quickly, you might fall over. And it's not because you're dying, it's just your blood pressure. Okay, so put our hands on our hips. Now we're only going to bend down halfway and push our bum and our hips back. And then straighten up. And then push our hips out to the side and lean to the side. Straighten up and go the other way. Let's twist to the left. Standing up nice and tall, posture, posture, posture. And go the other way to the right. Back to center. We'll do it one more time, except this time when we get down halfway here, we're going to stay there for a second or 10. Yeah, so those muscle fibers, when we hold a stretch or when we do a gentle movement stretch, a dynamic stretch, the muscle fibers are being pulled apart. Let's turn to the left and stay down there and hold it turning to the left. Sarcomeres. are being stretched. They're horizontal muscle fibers. You also have tubular muscle fibers. Let's go to the right. So we got to go all the way past the middle and over to the right. And hold it there. Working the low back. And the hips. And come back to the front and then stand up slowly. Straighten up, I mean. You're already standing up. Good, and shake that out. Let's just do one more of these. Okay. Let me think. I've got a lot of them. I just want to do the right one here. Okay. So I'm going to come down into my squat. Well, I'm going to work my knees here. Where's the chair? There it is. And then come back up. My arms are going to go at my sides, but the way back. It's like I'm going to jump off a cliff or off the side of a swimming pool. Squat. If you have arthritis, or if you're just a senior, you don't want to do any deep squats. Deep means all the way down with your bum almost on the ground.
You can do that.
I can do it, but if my knee's hurting like it is today, I'm not doing it. And my family wanted to go for a walk last night after it cooled down around 10:30. So this is dynamic now. But here we go. We're going to come down here with our arms straight out and hold it there. Sit in the chair. Working the knees. All right. Hold it steady, Robert. Anyway, my knee wasn't in very good shape last night with the arthritis. That's because I was moving around those angel stones trying to create a patio at my house too.
Right.
And they're heavy. And you need your whole body to be able to move one of those things. And my knee thought, okay, that's enough. So I decided not to go for a walk. I was going to use my bike and ride my bike alongside my family as they were walking. But here I'm coming up. Slowly. Good. Yeah, it's good. So, before I sit down though, I want to make sure the chair is safe. Sitting. Let's sit down. Uh-oh, my weights are over there and I forgot to pick them up. So if I reach over to pick them up like this, I'm using my low back. It better be in good shape, otherwise I might hurt myself. So I'm not squatting as much, I'm using my low back to get them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand back up and go squat, pick up the weights, keep my head up, and then sit down. Okay? But before we start, you think the weights are okay?
Sure.
Now notice how I'm sitting and notice how Bryan's sitting. So I'm kind of like in an L. The top of my body is going straight up and down, hopefully. So I'm sitting like this, see the back, straight up and down, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Bryan's kind of he's like a cup. He's like
Sloucher.
he needs to, just because it's an intentional workout we're doing, you need to practice good posture, so sit up tall. So maybe get away from the back of the chair. Can you sit up tall?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better. See, he's going to say, I know he is, because I think this too. This doesn't feel right. Because all day long we're like this, and then all of a sudden we tell our body to do this, and the body goes, that's not right. You're into this. So let's just do it because we sit up tall here, right? Good, good. Let's just put our weights here. Now, if the weights are too heavy, we're going to put them down. But anyway, we're going to push up, straighten our arms, bring it back to goal posts. Straighten them. We're going to do it very slowly because this is a dynamic stretch if you do it very slowly, which means you got to think about exactly what you're doing with those arms, and are you sitting up straight without a slouch? You focus on that. Because you know what's going to happen. We're going to hold the weights over our head in a second for 20 seconds. So that's the dynamic part. Let's go up and hold it there, Bryan. Hold it. Just hold it up there. So what are we working, Bryan? What joint?
Shoulders.
Yes, the shoulders. And it takes a little bit of effort to hold something with weights, especially over your head. and I'm looking straight ahead. My back is as straight as I can get it. And he's got his legs crossed, that's okay. As long as his feet are on the ground and he's sitting up tall and the weights are up there, and let's say that's 20 seconds, down we come. Okay, and I'm going to put them right there in my thighs, right? Because I'm going to shrug my shoulders, push my shoulders up, and then push my hands into the ground, push them way up to my ears, and push my hands into the ground slowly, because this is a dynamic stretch if you do it slowly. You're saying, hey, sarcomeres, you fibers in those muscles. Hey, cartilage in the joint there where the bones are in my shoulders. Hey, the synovial fluid, turn on. Come on, I need some lubrication. Okay, here I go. I'm going to hold it up there, Bryan. Squeeze it into my shoulder, hold it up. You want all that working for you. And you know what? It's not hard to figure out why people get stiff and why they get arthritis. Because we do a lot of things wrong. We sit a lot, we slouch a lot, and we eat all the wrong foods. So now I'm going to relax and I'm going to just sit here for a sec. Then I'm going to push my hands into the floor when I'm ready and hold it down there as far as I can. Push my palms down. Sit up tall. Right? So, you need to drink water because the water goes into your cells and takes the bad stuff out of your cells, the toxins, and then you pee it out. You need the water. If you don't have the water, you can't get that toxin stuff out of your cells. Then your immune system will be low. Okay, relax. It's about 20 seconds. Okay, let's just take this again. Remember this forearm or pec press? These are your pecs, your chest. So I'm going to bring my arms together, and when I go out, I'm going to go back past the goalpost. Squeeze my shoulder blades together, all the way in. Normally we stop right here, but I'm going to go push my shoulder blades together. I've got fours. What do you got, Bryan? Threes?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is easy.
Push back. Keep your arms in that perfect goalpost L shape, 90 degrees at the elbow.
It's hard to do that.
It is. Let's do one more in and out. Okay, we're going to go back and hold it. Here we go. Hold it there, squeeze the shoulder blades together. So there's a lot going on in your back. You got these shoulder blades, which are bones, right? So they must have cartilage because they move, and synovial fluid. You've also got some big muscles back there. Your latissimus dorsi, your lats. You got the traps over top of your shoulders, and they go into your back too. But you got these lats, these big muscles that go down on either side of your spine.
That's it for me.
Yeah, let's come back and go down. Okey doke. Okay, put your hands in this position in your pec press, this one here. Okay, and just push up. Come back to where you started. Push up. Come back to where you started. Slowly, dynamic stretching. Anytime you move slowly, no matter what you're doing stretching.
Oh boy, excuse me.
Okay, is that a COVID cough?
No.
Okay.
It's a allergy cough.
Yeah, well I got that too.
Sneeze actually.
Let's do another one a couple times. Notice my elbows are together if I can get them together. And I'm going to go up this time and hold it up there. Oh, yes. So I'm working my elbows, which is another joint, and my shoulders, and all the muscles connected, and all the ligaments and the tendons too. They all use synovial fluid. They all have sarcomeres, muscle fibers, tubular or horizontal. I'm coming down. Holy moly schmoly. I'm putting those weights down, Bryan. I want you to put yours down too. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm just going to lift my leg up. It's bent at the knee. Just going to lift it up and lift the other one up. I'm holding on to the chair. for stability, I want to be able to do this with the best form possible. So I want to sit up tall, just lift my knees in the air.
This baby won't go up.
It will if you keep working on it. If it's painful,
Yes.
you might not want to go so high. But if you even do it a little bit, if it's painful, the more synovial fluid you get flowing there, if you've got any. By the way, the more it'll work. But by the way, your body can produce too much synovial fluid. Like when your cartilage starts to disappear because you did all the bad things in life. Okay, I'm going to come up and hold my one up there. Now, if you want to hold it with your hands on your shin, you can. You can hold it underneath on your hamstrings. You could even bring it up even higher and pull it in. So I don't know where you're at or how you're holding it, but get it off the ground and just let it stay there. A static stretch. What are we working? The hips, and because the legs bent, the knees, and because the foot's flexed, the ankles. Just sitting here not moving, we're working it. Yes. How long? 2 minutes? No. 60 seconds? Maybe. 20 seconds? We'd have to do it more 3 times. You guys have lots of time. You're going to do it, I know. Maybe if I'm not here, you won't do it, but you better do something. Otherwise, you'll regret it later in your life. Maybe you're already later in your life.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put it down. Okay, we got to do the other side. So when I'm ready, I got to check my body, make sure my posture's okay, lift it up, and grab a hold of it below the joint, not on the knee, and either pull it in or just hold it in the air somehow so it doesn't go down. Sit up tall. Or maybe I'll try to go a little higher. Yes. So there's 2 different kinds of arthritis, pretty much. There's probably lots, but they only talk about the osteo and the rheumatoid. And by the way, the rheumatoid arthritis, like the gout in the toe for men, might come and go, right?
It does, yeah.
Yes, but the osteoarthritis, it can come and go if you do the right things. If you move and you eat right and you live a good life, it'll go away. But most of the time it just hangs around. And if you do any kind of high impact movement, like a low deep squat or anything, you're aggravating your arthritis for sure. Okay, so now what I got to do is I got to bend this leg. So I'm going to bend it and get it over top of the other one so it's above the knee. Right. Can you put the bottom foot flat, Bryan?
Yeah, but I've got to get the other one up.
Yeah. He gets it up as high as he can get it. So he might have, maybe he's over here, he might have to hold on to it. It's bent and it's trying to come over top of the other leg. So I'm pushing my knee over. See, I'm giving it some help there. Right. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take it off. And then I'm going to take the other one and try to get it over. And then when I think I'm over there as far as I can go, I'll take it off. And I'll take the other one and bring it over. And I should do this as slow as possible, like I'm in a Tai Chi class. You know, I'm moving so that you can hardly see me moving, and that would be really, really, really dynamic stretching when you're doing it like slow motion. I'm kind of hyper, so I tend to do everything in a hurry. But you can practice this on your own, crossing your leg over the other one. Don't rest it on there because you're going to bring it back right away. So slow motion, and you're sitting up nice and tall. You're not leaning into the back of the chair. So after we've done our dynamic crossovers, we're going to hold it over here on the other side. Now my foot, I want to work at level 2 here. So my foot that's on the floor is flat. I'm going to bring my heel up and be on my tippy toe down there. So if I've crossed it over quite a ways, I can feel it in my hips on that side, down in here. I can feel it. I'm stretching that hip flexor, or whatever it's called. It goes through my thigh there. Yeah. Where's the synovial fluid when you need it? Do I have any cartilage left in my hips? Did you get a hip replacement?
Yes, I did.
How long ago?
2009.
Holy cats.
That's my right hip.
And did it, like, is it better?
Yeah,
What about your left hip?
that's okay. They told me I was bone on bone, and that was way back in 2009. I'd have it replaced one day. I'm still here, so
Oh, you mean the other one?
yes.
Oh my God. Okay, let's just take it back and put it down. And take the other one when you're ready and get it over and hold it there.
So this baby here, this left knee, I had that replaced a couple of years ago.
Is that why you're having trouble bending it?
No, I'm too stiff around here to get this up and over.
Well, then what are you doing wrong?
I'm not stretching something enough.
Yes, he's not moving enough in a, they call it moving with intention, which means you know why you're moving and what you're moving. You are intended on doing it. You know exactly what's happening. You're not just walking around the planet moving, fixing your patio. You know what you're doing. So if he's over there fixing his patio and he's going to bend over and pick up one of those flagstones, he better do it with his legs as opposed to his back.
Correct.
Okay? And he better have warmed up with some of this dynamic, gentle, static stretching. Where's my heel up? I better be intended here. I better do this with intention. Anyway, if he knows he's going to do that yard work, then he needs to warm up properly, and then he needs to do it. Then he needs to really stretch, especially the static stuff, because he's already done a lot of the dynamic stuff because he's worked out. So if he does the static stretching at the end, like we're doing a little bit of dynamic and a little bit of static, but we're not even working out. Like we haven't done any patios yet today. That's when I would say, well, I'm going to stretch, static stretch. What did I work mostly? My hips. So I'm going to stretch my hips. We're working the hips right now. We're holding the static hip stretch. Okay, and then we'll take it off because that's probably a minute. Holy cats. You know what? I'm going to just try to straighten my leg and flex my foot. So I want my leg to be straight and I want my toe to point to the sky. And then I'm going to bring it back and you know what? You can do the other side and then we'll switch. Because when I bring it back, I'm going to bring it way back and I'm going to grab a hold of my ankle with my hand and then pull it way back. And then I'm going to stretch it way out like that with my foot flexed, my legs straight, sitting up tall, all that to remember. And then bring it back and grab a hold of it and pull it up even farther. And this is my good knee, so this doesn't hurt at all. Wait till I get to the other side. You won't see me doing it quite like this. So I'm working the knee now. Every time I straighten my leg, the knee does it. Allows me to do that. Of course, my hamstrings and my quads, they're all working too. I've got a gastroc muscle down here, which helps with the knee too. I've got a soleus muscle in the front underneath my shin. Most people don't know you have that muscle. It's working too to do this. Okay, I'm going to hold it back there. I'm ready to do it. I've done enough of these dynamic ones. Here I go. So I'm going to sit up tall. I'm pulling up. Normally I don't. I'm pulling up. It doesn't hurt in my knee, so that's okay. I can do this. If it starts to hurt, I just back off a little bit. Now, some people would say maybe instead of pulling up, you should push your leg down into your hand. And it feels the same, and you get the same result. So whatever. Working the knee. So we did the shoulders, we did the hips, we're doing the knee. If you can't remember them, just use the video to find out what, zoom to that part. And I'll index this in the description so you can find it, so you don't have to go through the whole video looking for it. I'll go shoulder stretch, knee stretch, hip stretch, and you can just find it. Okay, good. So I'm going to do the other side now. I'm just going to make sure I'm not falling off the chair. I'm going to straighten my leg, point my toe, and bring it down. So straighten it. Bring it down. Straighten it. So it hurts a little bit, but not enough to stop me. And I do slow motion. So if you're just sitting in your patio this afternoon reading a book, sipping on your water, You don't want to drink alcohol though.
No?
No, because alcohol causes your muscles to be inflamed.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm going to get up there here and
That's too much information.
yeah, and I'm going to go all the way back though and see. I'm going to grab my ankle and see if I can give it a little bit of pull. Yeah, that's hurts a little bit, but not enough to stop. So I'm going to go all the way up the front and all the way back along the side of the chair and pull. Up. Slow motion, dynamic. Very slow is better. You're a Tai Chi person. You know that Tai Chi stuff where everything moves really slowly?
Yeah, I often wanted to do that.
Yes, well, you're doing it. Just turn your movement into slow motion and you're doing it. Because Tai Chi is all about dynamic stretching. And sometimes they hold it, sometimes they don't. Okay, here I'm going to hold it up here. Maybe I'll hold it like this up. Hold it up. Sit up tall, Robert. Don't slouch in the low back. Forgot for a minute. Yeah, sit up tall the best you can. And if it's only 5 seconds or 10 seconds, then you can work at this. Like pick one of these and work at it. So you get really good at it. You know exactly what you're doing. Now I'm going to go into this position and pull it up or push down into my fingers with my leg.
Oh, I'm so tight. I can't do this, baby.
All right. Hold it, hold it, hold it. 60 seconds and now maybe 2 minutes. Holding a dynamic stretch is just slow motion. You're not holding it. But holding it so it becomes a static stretch so you don't move. You're not a Tai Chi person, you're a statue. And you're focused and you think about what you're doing. Don't daydream. That's a static stretch and that's a 60-second thing or maybe 2 minutes. I don't know. Okay, we're going to finish off with these fingers because Bryan said something about arthritis. Show them your hand.
Boy, it's there. It's really bad.
So can you just do this? So it's there?
In the middle, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
2 days ago, I couldn't touch anything. It's
Right.
so bad.
So if he decides to do the stretching of the hand on that side, he's got to do the other side too. Because if he ignores the other side because this one hurts, then it'll turn into that one. Because you want to always be balanced in life. If you've got 2 body parts, one on each side of your body, you do both sides, even if the one side needs it. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We'll just take our hand and shake it a little bit. Gently shake it. Just let the fingers do whatever they want to do. You know, if you're a Donald Trump fan.
You're going to get some
You know what this means? It means yes, this is positive. This is negative, no. Okay, let's try the other side. Shake it out too. Let's do both at the same time. So, you know, I'm thinking about my hands. I'm thinking, when I walk at night, maybe it's because of the heat. When I walk at night, my fingers swell up and the fluid, the water goes into my fingers.
Really?
It's trying to cool down the joint. There's something going on there. They swell right up. So what I do is I just shake them, right? Sometimes I put them above my head so the water will go back down into my body, and that fixes it. Or sometimes I just go like this. I'm going to squeeze my hands like this. Now here's the deal. Here's how we do it. And just because of time here, we're going to do both sides at the same time, like if we can. So when I get my fingers into whatever position I can that feels relaxed, like that's not relaxed, but this is kind of relaxed. I'm going to squeeze the orange or the grapefruit, but I'm not going to squeeze it like this. I'm going to just squeeze it like this slowly, and then come back out slowly, slowly. So there's an orange there or a grapefruit, not a golf ball. All right. So here's the dynamic part, the slow motion squeeze. Okay, next time we're going to hold it in the squeeze. Hold the squeeze. So I'm watching TV, sitting up tall, trying to get the fly away from my nose.
Watching Trump.
Watching Trump. Okay, so here we go again with the hands. So we've done a little bit of the dynamic stuff here, right? But let's try to get our fingers apart as much as we can, and then relax. Just get them apart. Push them way apart. And relax. I don't care how you hold your hands, just get the fingers apart. And relax. Get them way apart. And relax. One more time, way apart. And relax. And let's hold them as static apart. Here they are, as far as I can get them. How are yours?
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad. I notice his fingers are curling there. See them curling? That's the joint right there. That's the bone, and it's doing that.
And that one there.
Yeah, it's doing that because the arthritis is in there. Because he didn't do a lot of moving when he was younger with his hands.
This is from work, overwork.
Or I was just going to say that. If you do the same movement over and over and over and over again, you'll get the arthritis too later in life. Okay, good. Relax. That's about 10 seconds. Okay, good. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to take our thumb and we're going to touch the tip of each finger with our thumb. Now, I'm cheating. I'm bringing the finger to the thumb. So if I straighten my hand and get the thumb over there and try to get to the finger, right? Because I'm not bending my fingers to reach the thumb. I'm keeping them straight, and now I'm getting the thumb over to the finger the best I can. I'm working the thumb joint right there. This one here, part of the wrist too.
Right.
So my baby finger, if I keep it straight and I bend it toward my thumb, I can kind of touch it. This one I can kind of touch, but I have to bend it. Maybe I keep it straight and touch, kind of. That one kind of works. Kind of works. So maybe I think the ring finger on my hand is the hardest one. So I'm going to, for my static part, I'm going to hold it there. Keep the other ones apart and keep them straight. And try to straighten this one up. Don't bend it like this, like I am. Try to keep it straight. So everything is straight, 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 straight. I've got these two together. Let me get the other side too. I'll touch, touch, keep the fingers straight, touch, touch with the thumb, touch, touch, touch. Which one is the hardest on that side? They all feel okay. This one, yeah, I'll go with the ring finger on that one too. So I'm holding it for my static part. All my fingers are apart. All my fingers are straight. Don't let them bend. Even the thumb is straight. Oh, yeah, man. Okay, shake that out. Okay, and then the last part here, there's so many things you can do. You can twist, you can pull, right? But because we got all these different joints, so we've got a bone there and we've got a bone there, a knuckle. And then we've got, believe it or not, there's a knuckle there and a knuckle there, and something's going on there, a baby knuckle. All these knuckles, which are bones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my thumb. I'm going to take my top part and bend it down and push it into the bottom part. Straighten it. Push it in. Straighten it. So like I'm bending it the best I can, wherever it bends, and try to squish it together. Ooh, that's not easy. And that kind of has a little bit of pain to it. Maybe I've got arthritis in my hand too. Oh, let's hold it there. Ooh. So I'm pushing, yeah, pull it right down.
Don't go any further.
Then hold it wherever you can hold it. After you've warmed it up with your dynamic stretching, get into the static bend and hold it there. Ouch.
That's because I played the piano when I was a youngster.
Did your mother force you to?
Yeah.
And you can still play today?
Yeah.
So you do play?
Yeah.
That'll be good for your fingers as long as you don't do too much of it. As long as there's no pain. Okay, I'm going to try this finger here, this pointer finger. So I'm going to bend it wherever I can bend it and then squish it together, like that. And then take it apart and relax. And squish it together. And squish it together. And squish it together. And this time I'm holding it just because I've got a lot of fingers to do here and we haven't got all day. But you have all day. You can pause me anytime you want and just work on your fingers. How long do I hold it? I haven't got 60 seconds. I haven't got 120 seconds. But I did it for 10, so that's pretty good. Now the next one, I'm going to just bend it and squish it. Bend it and squish it. And bend it this time and hold it. So you could do the dynamic one as many times as you want until you think you've got all the fluid and everything awake inside that joint, and then you can hold it into your static. You could do this and watch TV too. Okay, and then do this one. Squish, hold, squish it, hold, and squish it and hold, and then straighten it. So keep moving there. I'm holding it a little tiny bit, but now I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it for at least 20 seconds. Okay, shake that out. And just because on the other side, I'm going to figure out which finger needs the work. That one needs it. The trump finger needs the work. So I'm going to squish it together and then let it go. Squish it together. It's giving me a little bit of pain. Squish it together. Squish it together as many times as I want to do this, but I'll do it one more time and then I'm holding it. Right now I'm going to hold it there. So I'm holding that finger there. See, I'm resting on my quads with my forearms instead of sitting up straight, just because I need a break from sitting up straight. I'm a sloucher just like everybody else. I got one of those couches that you slouch in and it's really comfy, right? And you watch TV for hours and hours and hours. I've also got one of those computers where you slouch over the keyboard all day long, pushing things with your fingers. Yep. In a bed, well, I don't know about you, but I have to have at least one pillow under my head at nighttime. And that's because my neck is stiff, because my back is round. And when I walk, I have to walk standing up straight with intention. Otherwise, I round my back when I walk. So when I'm lying down in bed, I have one pillow to support my neck. So here I go, and I'll let go and shake out those fingers.
Well, left hand is pretty easy, the right, no way.
So what I want to do here is just do one little meditation. So I'm going to cross my legs at the ankles. I'm going to try to sit in a comfortable, healthy position. Like if I wanted to be comfortable, I'd sit back into the chair and maybe slouch. Maybe we'll do that just for this, because
Just for kicks.
because we want to relax here. This is a stress thing, right? We want to relax. So I got my legs crossed at the ankles. I'm relaxed into the back of the chair. I'm going to take not my baby fingers, not my thumbs, but the other 6. I'm going to put them together. And they don't have to be out like this or over my head. They can just be, I can just relax, as long as they're all touching. Remember, the thumbs and the baby fingers, they don't count. The other ones are stuck together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them stuck together, and then I'm going to keep the stuck at the bottom and open the others. So these are stuck, the bottom 2. But remember, the baby fingers and the thumbs aren't playing, just these 6, these 3, and these 3. They're stuck together, position 1. Now the bottom 2 are stuck, that's 2. The middle 2 are stuck as 3, and the top 2 are stuck as 4. So they're all stuck for 1, bottom stuck for 2, stuck in the middle for 3, stuck at the top for 4. That's all there is to this. So what I do is, with my eyes shut, my fingers touching, they're all stuck. All 6 of them are stuck. And I think, where are my fingers in my brain? I am looking in my brain for my fingers. Oh yeah, that's called the touch sensation, right? So they're all stuck, that's 1. Okay, I'm going to let go of them all except for the bottom 2. So just the bottom 2 are stuck.
We still got our eyes closed?
Yeah, your eyes are shut, your legs are crossed. Okay, and then I'm going to stick the middle 2. Let everything else relax. Then I'm going to stick the top 2. These are your pointer fingers. Okay, relax those and stick your middle ones again. Middle 2. And then stick the bottom 2. Okay, just stick the top 2 and let everything else go. Stick the bottom two and let everything else go. Stick the middle two with crazy glue and let everything else go. And then stick them all together and hold it there. And relax and shut up, Robert, that's me, for at least 20 seconds. Keep your fingers stuck, your legs crossed. Okay, 20 seconds. Open your eyes, untangle yourself, and shake your hands. The drink up. Welcome to the drink up. Drink up. I don't know about you, but I have distilled water, like comes out of my tap, my kitchen, but I've got a
osmosis.
It's not osmosis. It's the next level up. It's using lasers to kill all the bad stuff in it too.
Really?
Yeah. So osmosis, I used to have that, and then I went to this new one.
You have to tell me about that later.
Yeah, and so anyway, it uses a big filter, and it's really cool, and lasers. So, yeah, if you drink water, it'll help your arthritis. If you eat the right food, it'll help your arthritis, like turmeric.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
I'm taking that every day.
Yeah, but you can get some turmeric at the bulk barn.
Mitzi bought some a few days
and
ago.
it's really yummy with chicken. So you can put it on, sprinkle it on chicken or whatever. Poultry. Anyway, so there's certain foods that are good for you, but you know what? There's certain foods that make your arthritis worse.
Tomatoes.
I was just going to say that. And you know why? The tomatoes they produce something in it that
Chemical, yeah.
causes inflammation. You think, what?
I've only just discovered that though.
Yeah. Every ad I see on the computer, drink up. Every ad I see on the friggin' computer is talking about, if you've got arthritis, don't eat these foods. We'll tell you. And of course, it's tomatoes. And then there's another thing. Do you take any vitamins?
Yeah.
Like what?
B12, D3.
So he takes do you take any omega-3 fatty acids?
Yes.
Well, the omega-3, I got to get this straight, because I take an omega-3 6-9. I think it's the omega-3 that is good for you and that reduces inflammation, and the omega-6 causes it. Something like that. You know, so if you think, oh, omegas like fish oil, oh, that's good for me, I'll take that. It'll lubricate my joints, right?
So they got fancy numbers now.
Yeah, well, and then they give you, why don't you take the omega-3, 6, and 9 all in one pill? And then I take the omega-3, 6, and 9, and then I find out after I research arthritis that the 6 causes inflammation, and the 9, I don't know what it does, and the 3 reduces inflammation. So I'm thinking, oh my God. So, I mean, you got to watch what you eat. Drink up.
Right.
So I don't know if we'll go for a walk or not, but any kind of a brief, after you're doing any kind of an exercise program, a brief walk is great. I mean, we're not speed walking, we're not walking in the heat, we're not carrying anything, we're not going up giant hills, we're just walking around. That's good for your overall immune system. All right, so we're going to sign off now, and we'll just say we're going for a walk.
Yeah.
So make sure you do something, even if you walk around your house. Okay, until next time.
Be good.